Hmm. Server's still under maintenance. I'm definitely interested. Definitely interested, big time. Seven more hours to go, huh? I guess I got no choice but to wait then, huh? I guess I gotta pre-register on my iPad as well, huh?
Hello and welcome to my channel, I Win to Lose Gaming. Today I'm taking you through my experience with Tower of Fantasy and 8 reasons why I think it's worth trying this fantastic upcoming anime open world RPG. This video is sponsored by Tower of Fantasy, but all they asked me to do was to showcase a couple specific things, and the rest is all extrapolated from yours truly in terms of why I recommend putting this game on your radar. If you do like what you see, be sure to smash that link down in the description below to pre-register for Tower of Fantasy's upcoming release. Number 8. The character customization. Lately I have felt deprived of being able to play with a customized character. And if you've been feeling that way as well, Tower of Fantasy has you covered. This is one of the best anime-styled character builders in the industry. I could honestly spend hours with the gazillions of sliders, hair settings, accessories, color wheels, eye patterns, etc, etc. There's already 24 front hairstyles, 7 middle hairstyles, and 22 back hairstyles, which leads to a ridiculous 3,696 different hair combinations just on release. Now this is one of the features that they asked me to specifically showcase, which is where people are able to vote for their favorite submitted styles, and you'll be able to find tons of awesome characters created by other players. There are unlockable free costumes by exploring each region to a certain point. Sadly, I haven't gotten close to unlocking any of these free costumes yet, but you can bet that when the game comes out, this is definitely something I'll be prioritizing. Number 7. A really rewarding exploration experience. I've been exploring a lot in various games, but haven't felt heavily rewarded while exploring. Well, Tower of Fantasy has some very generous rewards that actually respect your time. Just by exploring and solving certain puzzles or opening specific widgets, gives you these black nucleuses. These black nucleuses can be used in this black nucleus banner, which, while starting your adventure, provides a great sense of
Okay, hold up, wait. I don't really want to see spoilers on the summoning animations. Oof. Alright.
Tower of Fantasy has 2 boob sliders, so this is an MMO that's coming out tomorrow. I do plan on playing it. I'm pretty excited to see what this game's gonna have for us, and you know, we'll see what it's gonna be.
Tower of Fantasy Global is almost here, and I wanted to share with you guys my thought on it after playing it for around 1 month. For you guys who didn't know, Tower of Fantasy is an anime-like open-world adventure RPG
I can see that.
with a hack-and-slash combat system that are very resemble Honkai Impact. But instead of switching character, in Tower of Fantasy, you will be switching between 3 weapons.
So it's like New World, except instead of having all fucking hairy, sweaty men, it's anime booba girls. Okay, alright.
There are world boss raids, player versus player, and of course, the most important things of all, collecting waifu and husbando.
Yeah. Wow.
But there is some factor that, in my opinion, really
Holy
make
cow.
the game special.
What's that?
The first one is its character customization.
This is the...
For me, special. The first one.
Okay, let's see. I can't... Oh, you can give her... You can... Yeah, see, look at that. You could give her a beanie, headphones, bunny ears. I don't know what that is, or cat ears. So you can customize which ears she has. That's very good.
Is its character customization.
Smart.
For me personally,
I love
Tower of
Asmongold.
Fantasy shine the most on its massive freedom of character customization.
I'm excited
Starting
to
from
do
the
that.
head to toe, almost everything are customizable.
Look at
height,
that.
head to toe, almost everything are customizable.
Like, just by switching the characters, it caused the characters' boobs to jiggle. Watch this.
Starting from
This
the
is just
head
by
to toe,
swapping
almost
characters.
everything are customizable.
See that?
Height.
How's it going, everyone? Ssr here, and we are back with another Tower of Fantasy video. Today I am going to be giving you my top 10 tips for the game. This is going to include a lot of secrets, a lot of quality of life things that are going to help you traverse the map along the way, and a couple of things that are very important for you to do that reset daily so that you're not going to miss out on some of these things going into the future. And trust me, you'll thank me later. So let's go ahead and jump into tip number 1. Alright, and here we are for tip number 1, and that is going to be the wall hop mechanic. So if you take a look at this massive ice wall here, you're wondering, how do I get up there? If I go to simply climb it and I try to go the normal way, one, it's going to take forever and I'm going to lose stamina. And if I try to hop the faster way, I'm going to run out of stamina a good portion of not even close to the top, right? So I'm going to be forced to fall all the way back down to the bottom and start all over again. And that's always terrible. We don't want to deal with that. But luckily, there is a mechanic in this game that will allow you to sort of get away with climbing any mountain that you want, no matter what. So what you're going to do is you're going to hop onto the wall. Once you are attached to the wall, you will hit Control and then followed up by jumping 2 times. It is also important that you hold forward when after you're done jumping so that you go ahead and stick back onto the wall. So I'll demonstrate that now. Control, double jump, and then hold forward. And as you can see, I didn't lose any stamina at all whatsoever, and that's because you're using the mechanic to release from the wall to fall down, and then you're just simply double jumping because it's resetting your double jump and attaching yourself back to the wall, so you essentially have infinite stamina. So I'll go ahead and show you this in real time, and it may take some practicing to get used to. You could play around with the hotkeys if you want, but that's what it is by default. So I'll go ahead and scale this wall in real time here. So just gotta go ahead and hit Control, then double jump, and keep doing that over and over. You can probably hear the click-clack of my keyboard as I do this, but as you go on in time, you will get pretty good at doing this because you'll be able to ascend pretty much any wall that you want, and that's gonna be very useful for getting from point A to point B, so that you can go ahead and make sure you get all the gold nucleus and everything like that. So that's gonna be it for that one. As you can see, I was easily able to get to the top of there with full stamina. Tip number 2 is going to be about gadgets. As you can see on the right side of my screen, I have the jetpack and the hoverboard equipped. Now, I can use these whenever I want. I can also cycle through other gadgets with the G key. However, as long as I am out of combat, or if I exit combat at any point in time, I can go ahead and use multiple relics. Once I've entered combat, my relic bar is locked and I won't be able to use anything else. So here I can pre-use my relics before I go into a fight. So I'm gonna pop number 1, number 2, and then switch over to my big mechs before I go in and enter combat. And now all of a sudden I can use those, plus I can pull out my other relics. So you can essentially make use of 6 relics like this and do whatever you want to do in terms of DPS for combat. This also works if you manage to escape combat for a brief
combat
moment,
looks
or if there's some sort of like lapse in time from which enemies are spawning, you will be able to cycle out your relics once again. So you can essentially have 6 of them on the hotbar, and you would just simply open the relic menu and deploy to all 3 of the relic hot swaps that it allows you to have. Tip number 3 is going to be about health regeneration, or satiety, which is the hunger system.
Kinda icky. Icky spelled with a Y, my guy. Yeah, Boruto still sucks though.
Within the game. If you hold Alt and go to this little bubble towards the left of your level at the bottom of the screen, you will see a button that you can click, and you can pull this up and you will see satiety, as well as a lot of food items that you can use in quick use. What you want to do is you want to keep your satiety towards 100, because the higher it is up there, it will provide regeneration bonuses, and you can see the full list here if you click the exclamation mark. So
whoa. Okay. So you're gonna have to constantly eat. After wanderers exit battle for 5 seconds. I don't believe that satiety is the proper way to pronounce this. I know that's like to satiate. So let's look it up.
Satiety.
Satiety, yeah. But wouldn't you pronounce
Satiate. Satiety.
That's very strange. Whatever. Satiety. Satiety. After Wanderers exit battle for 5 seconds, satiety starts to drop automatically to restore HP. For every 10% HP restored, 1 satiety point will be reduced. Interesting. And 1 satiety point will be deducted every 5 minutes. The higher the satiety, the faster the HP regen speed. 1 to 30, 2% every 2 seconds. 30 to 60, 3.5 HP every 2 seconds. 60 to 100, 5% every 2 seconds. Okay.
You're going to be able to restore a lot of HP when you're out of combat. This is only going to work out of combat, so just keep in mind that that's how it works, and you will also lose satiety over time just for, you know, I guess, existing, right? Like, everybody's got to eat. So we'll go ahead and use that and make sure that we are at full satiety, and then I'll go ahead and jump off this high tower here and take some damage and show you what it will do.
Oh
so
my
as you
god.
can see, my HP is about half, and after being out of combat for a few seconds, it'll start to kick in and start regenerating my HP and reducing that satiety, so you can keep yourself full up with special
Best TBS character in the
that will
game?
allow you to be
No
very effective
idea,
from
honestly.
place to place
I
and
am
outside
going
combat,
in this
and
game
this is just going to help you in general for
pretty
story and
blind.
quality of life.
This is
especially
the
if you don't
first.
have,
This is the first footage that I've seen of anything from the game.
access to a healing character. Tip number 4 is going to be about the Vitality Solution. Vitality Solution is a consumable item that you can purchase from the shop at the top right of your screen. You will be able to buy the first one every single day for 50 dark crystals. And this is a great deal because it restores 60 vitality, vitality being the daily currency that you gain to use for dungeons like the joint operation, as well as space-time domain and all of those things that generate you materials, gold, and weapon components. So this is going to be very, very important going into the late game. And since this resets daily, once it's gone, it is gone, and you won't be able to get that back. So you can stockpile these. They have no expiration date. So when I hit level 70, I can have a massive stockpile of like 80, 100 of these bad boys, and I can pop them all and just go ham on the joint operation and get all the Matrix legendary gear and all that good stuff that I want to target. So in my opinion, there's 2 ways to do this. If you are a free-to-play player, I would definitely get the one for 50 dark crystals. You can get a potential of 4 every day. After you purchase the first one, the next one goes up to 100 dark crystals. If you're playing a lot, you may be able to afford this as a free-to-play player, but I'd probably recommend that for dolphins. And then if you are a whale, the next 2 are for you because they're going to be 200 dark crystals apiece. So that's going to be a total of 600 dark crystals every day if you want to buy them all. So if that's something that you really want to do to make some meaningful progress and you're spending, whatever it is you want to spend, that can be something good to aim for. But again, I would just recommend that 50, maybe 100 every day for a free-to-play. Alright, my next tip is going to be involved with dungeons and story modes. This is going to be tip number 5, and that is that you can run past most mobs for checkpoints. So a lot of times when you do these dungeons or story mode things, there'll be a lot of mobs in the way, but majority of the time, you don't have to kill these guys. I can just walk past them, no problem. Let me just go ahead and walk past these guys too. There are only certain mobs that require the triggering to open a door, and these are a set of those mobs. So I'm going to go ahead and defeat these guys here and make sure that we kind of open up the gates or the door here so that we can move on and do other stuff. So we'll go ahead and kill these, and once we do kill these, we can see that this is going to open up these doors here on the left side, and that will allow you to progress forward to the next level. But you don't have to kill every single mob.
Wait, if she's
Once
a
I kill
bruiser,
those,
where did the
that was
gun
part of that
come
first
from?
group, the door is already open. This is a mob that leashed from the other group, so I can just walk forward and go into that. So what this is going to allow you to do is you're going to be able to get to the boss and kill the boss at the end of the dungeon very quickly, and you're just going to save yourself a lot of time. Alright, my next tip is going to be right here in this little circle near the Ring of Echoes at Ssr, the starting territory. If you go into this thing, you're going to see the Ssr Research Shelter, and this is going to be one of the main story quest objectives at the start of the game. However, there is a hidden secret teleport here. If you jump onto this pillar and climb towards the top, and then hit space to jump up, you usually will get teleported. As you can see, my screen kind of froze, and I've been directed towards the middle of the map. Sometimes you fall through this, and you'll hit the bottom of water. If you do that, just don't worry about that. You could just drown yourself by expending your stamina, and then you will respawn in this exact location. But now, as you can see, I am somewhere in the middle of Vengi's, so I teleported from here all the way to the center, and this is going to be a nice shortcut to get you towards some waypoints and teleport points, so you don't have to swim across the entire island and do all that shebang. Alright, tip number 7. There are a lot of free report items that you can get in the game to increase the affection level of your characters, and I'm going to show you where those are. So you're going to need to do these daily. They reset with every server reset, so make sure to go ahead and pick them up. But the first one's going to be located next to the Black Market Space Rift. You're going to talk to this NPC called Hopkins, and you will speak to him, and he's going to offer you some sort of token of gratitude to choose between one of two mystery boxes. You will simply accept, and then picks the box of your choice. You can get anything ranging from purple figurines to blue items, or even some other different options. So it's just kind of RNG based on what you get. I don't think there's any figurine crafting as to whether the right or the left box is better. It's just kind of luck at that point. But that's going to be the first one. And then the second one is going to be located on Cetus Island. Cetus Island being one of the areas in Navia that is going to lock probably around level 30 or so once you get access to the Navia region. So this will not be something you can do immediately out the gate on day 1, but more than likely day 2 or 3, as it will give you a lot of options. But what you're going to do is you're going to run to the back of Cetus Island here, and you're going to find a little claw machine. So once you take the teleport, you just go straight up ahead all the way towards the back, and you're going to go next to this NPC called Slayer. He is somebody who's going to be giving you quests in the future, especially main story quests, and you will talk to this strange gadget right here, and you're going to play this magic claw game. And you're going to go ahead and start it up, hit yes 2 times, and skip at the top. And the important part about this is that all of these little dolls here, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to get this one and that one. Don't do it, it's a trap. The only doll that you can get realistically is this purple cat. And what you wanna do is aim for the head. So like so, you're gonna just go ahead and drop down the claw. If you latch onto its head, you should get it every single time, because keep in mind you have 40 seconds. This is a purple figurine. You will get one of them, and it will be your best option in there. The other figurines inside the machine are actually blue rarity, and for some reason incredibly hard to get. So I'll go ahead and show you an example, like this little yellow guy over here. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get him. He looks on his own, right? I should easily be able to get this. So I'll drop my claw down, and I'll try to pick him up, and then boom, nothing happens. So that's going to be the story of pretty much all of these other dolls except for that purple cat. So remember, go ahead and go for the purple cat. If you have a lot of time, you could try to get one of the other ones just to see it once for yourself, but trust me, it's not that good. Go for the purple cat. Tip number 8 is going to be machine parts. There are several free machine parts that you can obtain, and majority of them are going to come from Hykros. Hykros you can teleport to from any Omnium tower, so just go to the top and travel to Hykros. There are also some other machine parts that you can gather in the Bangui shelter and some other cities like the Bangi's port, but the bulk of them will come from here. So what you're going to do is you're going to search little items inside of Hykros or the other towns. You will press F to search, but the important part is you need to hold Alt and click on these items on the side to actually pick them up, or else they're just not going to be picked up. You're not going to loot them. It's very weird and bizarre. Don't ask me how to do this on controller. I have no idea, but you'll have to figure it out. But this is going to be the way to go. There are several of these things, including these vending machines that give you like strawberry soda, which is used for a quest line, or other like little power-ups like the thunderberry soda, which gives you volt damage. So there can be some good items from there, but the bulk of them will come from these weird, bizarre objects that you just search, and you're getting these machine parts. Sometimes you don't get any, and that's okay. And do keep in mind that this only works starting at level 32, and the reason is when you hit level 32, you will unlock the ability to maintain your vehicle, and that's what machine parts are for. So if you do this before level 32, you're wasting your time. And as you can see on my screen here, I got a purple machine part, which is very, very valuable, especially in the later levels for leveling up your vehicles. And this is going to allow you to reskin them, get different colors, as well as give you a lot of dark crystals just from doing this thing. So this is going to be an important daily routine. And also keep in mind that these have a 24-hour cooldown, and it's a 24-hour hard cooldown. It doesn't reset with the server. It just resets when 24 hours are actually up. So if you do it at the same time every day, you'll be able to keep a momentum, but eventually, you know, you're going to be a few minutes off, and it's going to get later and later. Tip number 9 is going to be about support points. Support points are items that you earn when you do something to help another player and you don't have the vitality to use or open that chest yourself, but you're running the run for them, you're helping them out, and whenever you do that, you're going to get support points. You can get support points from the joint operation, you can get support points from anything that's like a co-op level thing, but the best way to get support points is going to be from world bosses. If you go to a world boss and you forcibly open the gold chest at the end, and
This
instead
is Tower
using
of
a gold Cipher
Fantasy,
key,
PH.
you will get 100 support points. You can have a cap of about 700 support points per day from the closed beta is what we saw. That number may be adjusted in the future, so just kind of, keep that in mind. But there are a lot of good things here. You can get banners for your character. You can get supply joint chips, which increase the drop rate of items when you do the joint supply missions, like Joint Opt. And then you can also get Dark Nucleus, gold, which is going to be very useful down the line, and a lot of other good things with a weekly limit that will reset every week. So capping your support points every day and buying the things that you want will be a very strong idea for players that are trying to min-max. And for the 10th tip, my last and final tip, you can switch channels in the world. If you ever played like World of Warcraft or other games, there are instances or shards of the world, and let's say you're walking around and you see a bunch of people in your area and they're killing mobs, and you don't like that. You want to go to another channel, or they're looting your chests, your respawnable chests, or the mob that you need to kill for a mission is not there. He's dead. He's not respawned. You can go ahead and hold Alt and go to the top left of your screen to this channel button. It'll have a little blue icon with channel, and then you can switch the line that you want to go to. So I will just type in number 3 here, and then I'll hit OK. And sometimes the line can be full. That can also happen, so you might have to go to a different line. So here I'll try number 2, and it looks like we got it that time. So I'm going to transmit out of here, and I will enter a different phase so that I can loot different objects. And the best part about this is not all of the same respawnable chests are going to be in the same place. All right, that's going to be it for this video. I hope these tips were helpful for you. If they were helpful in any way, please make sure to like, subscribe.
Not bad.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Darkskin, and today we're going to be talking about who you guys should be going for when you start Tower of Fantasy. Now, there's a lot of different options depending on what you want to do and how you want to go about doing things. Now, first and foremost, I just want to specify, I just want to say, if you like a character, go for the character, right? At the end of the day, we all want to have fun. I'm probably going to be going for, like, some healers, because I like healing and supports, so that's what I'm going to do. So if you like a character, go for the character, or get the character. You don't have to follow the meta or anything specific like that, and the reason why I say that is because at the end of the day, having fun is a lot, you don't want to be a meta slave, not enjoying yourself, following the meta, switching characters every time a new character drops that's better. You want to enjoy yourself and have fun. So if you like a character, go for the character, or whatever the case may be. Right now, with that being said, I do want to talk about all of these characters down here are limited banner characters. They will most likely, I'm not going to say most likely, because the first limited banner is supposedly Nemesis, as far as, how it was on the CN beta and stuff like that. Nemesis is the first limited banner. So all of these other limited banner units, or collabs, because I know Mark's a collab, but those units...
Alright, I'm not gonna lie. Just from seeing what I see here, it looks to me like the character that I want, Coco Ritter, Claudia, Meryl, King, Samir. Those, and maybe Shiro. Those are the characters that I want the most. What's going on, Tim? Nitro Noob? We're in the waiting room now, man. In the waiting room now. It is coming out today. Got another 6.5 hours left. I'm honestly hyped. I really hope it's good.
Be in the game on release. So you don't have to worry about any of these characters because they're not going to be in the game on release. Nemesis banner might be out on release, but that still has nothing to do with the standard banner and or the starting units. So I'm going to be going over the starting units and everything like that so that you guys can understand exactly what you want to do. Now, talking about summoning. Apparently, when you do your first 30 pulls, you are guaranteed an SSR. That's just start of the game. At the very beginning, when you do your first 30, you're guaranteed an SSR. So at that point, you can pull any of these bottom units. Now, on top of that, pity is 80. So if you do all 80, you should have 2 SSRs. Now, they're going to be random on which one you get. So I can't tell you who you got or whatever the case may be. But on top of that, you do get an Ssr Selector Ticket. With the Ssr Selector Ticket, you can choose any of the characters down here at the bottom. So that is going to be where you basically form whatever comp or however you're trying to do things with your account. Now, if you guys don't know how the game works, you're summoning for the weapon, and the character is attached to the weapon. So whatever weapon you summon for, if you summon for the dual pistols, you'll get Samir. So that's how the game works. So there you go. And then any character can use any weapon, but it's the combinations is the difference. So moving on to how you want to do things. There are 2 tanks and there are 2 healers in this list, right? So starting with the healers, you have, where is she at? Coco, right? And then you also have Zero. Now Coco is more of an actual healer and Zero is more of a shields and buffs type of healer, but he's still a healer nonetheless. These are the only 2 healers in the base game. So if you are looking to be a healer, whether it's mid game, late game, whatever the case may be, you generally want to go for these 2 characters. Now, if you don't pull either of these characters from the 30 or the pity from the 80, with the Ssr Selector, you can choose whichever one you want, right? I'm hoping to get both of them because I want to use healers, and whenever Lyra's limited banner eventually comes around, I do want to get her. She's also a healer. So there you go. Moving on to the tanks, you have Huma, and then you also have Meryl. These are the only 2 tanks whenever it comes to the starting game, right? Huma has a really big shield, which is really, really good. I see a lot of people use the shield very, very often. Meryl is a tank as well, but she's more of a, I guess you could say, aggressive type of tank, more so than Huma, I guess you could say. So if you were looking to be a tank player, you generally want to get these 2 characters off rip. Now, if you don't get them from the 30 or the 80, with a selector ticket, you want to choose whichever one you want, right? Or whichever one you want to use. Now, like I said, if you're one of the characters that are one of the people that want to just see what you get and then go based off that, let's say you pull a healer, then you can get the other healer from the selector. Let's say you pull a tank, then you can get, you know, another tank from the selector. So if you want to wait and do it that way, that's perfectly fine. But if you are looking to be a healer or a tank, these are the 2 that you want to go for in those respective areas.
All right,
Now,
so I already
it's not
said we
gonna
want
be- if you
Coco and
wanna just
Meryl,
pick
so
your favorite character, oh my goodness, this character looks amazing, go for it. But if you're asking, you know, if you're wanting to know the comps and everything like that, these are, you know, how you want to do it. Now, the reason why I'm talking about 2 characters is because you're able to hold 3 weapons. Now, if you're holding 2 of the same weapon, that's the class. So if you're holding 2 healer weapons, you're a healer, 2 tank weapons, you're a tank, and then 2 DPS weapons, you're a DPS. The bottom 5 characters are all DPS, and I'm going to go through all of them. First, you have Shiro, which has like this circle chakram weapon, right? She throws chakrams out and stuff. She does a lot of DPS. She can actually shield break pretty nicely, but that's her. Tsubasa she has a bow, and she's like an ice bow user, and she specializes in dodging and charged bow attacks. Then you have Crow, which is going to be like your typical DPS assassin type of unit. He has dual daggers, and he's like one of the more skill-oriented characters. You're gonna do a lot better with him if you learn his kit and learn how to use him really, really well. Now, the reason why I didn't talk about the first 2 is because the first 2 characters, like if you're looking for probably the best start in the game, Samir and King are going to be your go-to. The reason why, Samir, whenever you summon her or summon her weapons, you get the dual pistols. The dual pistols are the best DPS weapon in the game. Not to mention, if whenever Nemesis comes out, if you summon for Nemesis, they have an affinity with each other, the lightning affinity, or I'm not sure if it's called affinity, synchronization, I'm not sure, but or maybe it's resonance. I think it's resonance. But anyways, they have the lightning resonance with each other, so they're going to be doing really, really well together. But even still, Samir is the best DPS character in the game. Even on CN, in the betas and everything like that, the dual pistols still hold up to this day. So that is going to be your best DPS option. Now, the reason why King is the next best thing is King is the best or shield break character in the game. So along with having the best DPS character, you can have the best shield break character. So King and Samir going on, you know, side by side is going to be your best bet if you want us to have the best start. After that, you can look into getting a healer, which would probably be Coco because she's a full-fledged healer. And then after that, you can look into getting a tank, which best case scenario will probably be Huma over Meryl. But there you go. So your best start would probably be Samir, King, and then you want to look into Coco for the healer, and then looking like Huma for the shield. If you want to be a tank player, just go Huma, Meryl, or try to. And if you want to be a healer, try to go Coco, Zero. Now, obviously, if you can only get one of the characters, if you only can get one of these characters, go for whoever you like the best. So there you guys go. Now, like I said, that's not to say you can't use Shiro, Tsubasa, or Crow. If you like any of those characters, go with that character, and then if you can still get another DPS or whatever character, go for with whoever you want. Shiro, Samir works perfectly fine. If you want to run Tsubasa, Samir, that works perfectly fine. Whoever you want to run together, you can run those together. But if you're asking for the best case scenarios, depending on what you want, the best start, in my opinion, and from what I've heard from everybody, is going to be Samir King, because you get the best DPS in the game, and you get the best shield break in the game, which is going to allow you to do even more damage. If you want to be a tank player, Huma, Meryl, right? And then if you only can get one, choose whoever you like between the 2. And then healers is Coco and Zero, but if you only can choose one, choose who you like between the 2. So there you guys go as far as that. Now, like I said, if the Nemesis banner is out, you can summon for Nemesis. She is a DPS unit if you want. She will obviously use different material, so you can still summon for all of these characters outside of Nemesis. So anyways, that's going to be it for this video.
alrighty. Well, it seems like because we still have some more time, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go play some Xenoblade, and then we're definitely back on 8 o'clock on the dot for Power Fantasy. So I appreciate you guys coming in, hanging out, but we will be live and back at it shortly for TOF. So.